So I'm Karishma Kumar Singhan, and I'll be your moderator for this session. It is truly heartening to see so many parents, at least taking their time out of their busy schedule because I know it's a Thursday and tomorrow is also a work day, but still y'all are here for this session to learn more about how you can help us children to cross the education pathways or barriers. So as parents in Sri Lanka, we all know that the most valuable gift we can give to our children is a solid education. So, but with the world changing so fast, with AI shifting global economies and even multiple destinations opening or becoming more glamorized for proper living standards, so making the final decision will be overwhelming. So, today's webinar is basically navigating your child's future towards the right education pathway in the right way. This webinar is specifically designed to clear the doubts of the parents when what they have to do or what clarifications they need to get before choosing what is the best pathway for their children. So whether your child has just finished O levels or even A levels, so A levels just finished. So we are here today to show you bridge the gap between local schooling and also how to make a successful global career. So to help us navigate this journey, we have he's not a guest to us, but if you are joining our webinars for the first time, he could be a guest for you because he's our very own CEO from Colombo International Campus, Mr. Nishant. He's a seasoned professional who has dedicated his career to shaping the next generation of leaders in Sri Lanka. So he's been working with students, helping them, guiding them for a long time throughout his career, because he started off from his IT field, from lecturing, web development, and he's a powerhouse in sectors of management, lecturing, entrepreneurship, with a rich background in student counseling and also team development and management. So that means he has a high profile or a high understanding in the IT training sector as well as business. So he knows how to balance the leadership skills, a dedicated leader in advancing education systems in Sri Lanka, basically. So now, today, he's joining y'all to give dear parents to give y'all an understanding on what what y'all need to understand before going towards making a decision, because making a decision, whether it's abroad or Sri Lanka, it's again about your child. So it needs to be cost friendly without breaking your banks, and it still needs to be the right pathway you choose, no matter what the whether it's abroad or Sri Lanka. So Mr. Nishan, he doesn't just he's not here just to talk about a degree or just Colombo International. Basically, he is going to bring a practical or real world perspectives into your house into this webinar today on how qualifications are required in universities in the world, and how we will map from CIC or from Sri Lanka, or how from your house you can map to the world opportunities the world has to offer for you. So, Mr. Nishan, we have a lot of eager parents with us. So, is it okay if we dive straight into the questions that everyone might be thinking?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead.
So, most obvious questions we got actually was, what key steps should families take during the O-level stage to begin planning a successful international education pathway? And how does the foundation program at Colombo International facilitate a smooth transition for O-level finishers?
Okay, so a common question is how do you exactly plan your way forward? Um, so some would like to go from the O levels onwards onto a degree pathway. Some would prefer to go via the traditional A level pathway and then start their degree. But now you're seeing a lot of parents trying to weigh both sides. Okay, should I send my child through the traditional A-level pathway, or should I look at options that are available right after O levels? So a couple of years ago, this is something that we wouldn't even consider discussing because you'd be saying that no, we shouldn't discourage people from doing A levels. A levels are compulsory and so on. But thanks to COVID and so many other things that happened in the last couple of years, people have started to really consider alternatives. So a lot of parents are actually looking at what options are available right after O levels. So what you should look at is, even if your child may not yet be at that stage, a couple of things you should look at are, first of all, the way things were many years ago when we were students versus the situation now is completely different. So we need to make sure that we don't try to send our child through what we may believe are the traditional pathways, but instead look at what exactly is this child interested in? What are the child's strengths? What are they interested in? What will make them happy? Okay, because if you're sending them into a certain career pathway, you have to make sure that it's going to be something that the child is going to enjoy. Second important point is to really consider, are A levels compulsory? Now, for certain disciplines, yes, A levels are still required. Okay, so example, you want to be a doctor, you want to be, for example, a practicing lawyer, still in Sri Lanka, there is a requirement for you to do A levels. But there are so many other professions where A levels are not really a compulsory component. So then you can consider, do I really want to send my child through another maybe 2.5 years of study simply when I can start the degree right now? So then you can understand what exactly are the entry pathways depending on the choice that you want to get into. So for example, right after O levels, you can come in via a foundation program, then go into an HND or into the first year of a degree, or you have the option of after O levels, go ahead with your traditional A level approach and then look at transferring. But whatever said and done, it's important that you start improving the English proficiency, as I have noted here, because English is a must. And especially if you're looking at sending your child abroad, some universities might say, for example, that they will give an IELTS waiver and that the IELTS exams are not required. You don't need to have a good score and so on. But maybe at the time of applying for the visa, you might get into trouble. Because even though the university says it's not required, the embassy might say that it is required. So it's important that you start improving English proficiency from the early years itself. Even if it's not for university education, generally in life, someone will definitely do better if they're good in their English. So those are the key points. Other things would be, for example, depending on what country you would like to send the child to, you'll have to do a bit of financial planning because it's not cheap. It's gotten more and more expensive. International fees have increased. But again, there are options as to how we as an institution can help you. So we'll talk about that. Second part of your question was about the foundation at Colombo International Campus. How can we help you with that? So the foundation that we offer is from Pearson, which is a world recognized organization. So the level 3 foundation that we offer in business and in IT is internationally recognized and will give your child the opportunity to transfer into a well-regarded university overseas and bypass the A levels if you so wish. And the program that we offer is taught in such a way that we are preparing the child for university level education by using top class academics here. We help build the academic writing skills, their research capabilities, and of course, independent learning skills as well, because students who have gone through our traditional school system get used to a certain way of learning. So we have to erase that and get them ready for higher studies. Another important point is our foundation, they can complete in 1 year or less compared to A levels, which take you about 2 years to complete. that directly translates to an advantage for the students because they can start their degree faster. The level 3 foundation from Pearson, as I said, is recognized worldwide. There are direct transfer pathways that are available to a number of universities, both via Pearson's own accreditation work or partner work that they have done with a number of universities. Plus, of course, here at CIC, we have built up quite a lot of relations with universities as well. Keep in mind that CIC's parent company is Campus Direct, which has been in the business of sending students overseas for 17 plus years now, sending thousands of students overseas. So the partnerships that we have built up over the years means that you have a lower risk when working with us because we can ensure a smoother transition from learning here to ultimately transferring overseas. Karishma, over to you.
So you mentioned that H&D is a pathway, like choosing the right pathway is right. So even if they're after A-levels or like just A-levels just finished. So if so, their pathway is H&D. Am I right?
Correct. Yes.
So
H&D is definitely a strong candidate.
So exactly this question, how does completing an H&D at our campus, which is Colombo International Campus, compare to going abroad immediately after A-levels in terms of academic reasons? Because all the like questions, main questions the parents have is the readiness of the student, the costs because they are the ones who have to bear the costs initially, and also what is the transfer success rate of them going from Sri Lanka to another country.
Okay, so after completing the foundation or the A-levels, you have the option of, as we said, transfer directly to a university and start your 3-year or 4-year degree. But as we said, that can be rather expensive. So the next alternative that many students and parents are choosing is to complete part of their qualification locally in Sri Lanka and then transfer overseas. So the H&D from Pearson, the Higher National Diploma from Pearson, is what we call as a level 4 and a level 5 qualification, which means that it's equal to the first 2 years of a 3-year honors degree. So you can complete 2 years of your degree here, and then, for example, transfer on to UK, Australia, or whatever other destination that you want to, and complete your degree, and you save a considerable amount of money. So by studying here locally with us, you get a strong academic maturity because rather than being a fresh student who starts a degree overseas and has to face a lot of academic pressure, by starting your program here and completing 2/3 of your program, that student academically matures or gets a good solid experience. And then you have the significant cost savings because studying overseas can be very expensive. We'll talk about that in a few other questions as well. Cost of living can be maybe £10,000 a year. So for a 3-year degree, that's £30,000 there itself. The university cost can be between £10,000 to £20,000 per year. So if you complete your entire your first 2 years of the qualification here, in terms of the H&D, you're saving a high amount of money, a considerable amount of money, which you could invest in something else as well. And then, of course, since you have already started your degree here, transferring to another university for the final year becomes easier because your credit transfer success rate will be higher. Getting a visa processed and approved from the local high commissions and embassies may be easier because you're already proving that you have entered into the academic process. And I would say that since the student gets to study locally, they get a little bit more maturity rather than transferring on to another country at a young age, complete 1 or 2 years here, then transfer overseas. That student will be able to adjust better to living in another country simply because they are more mature. And of course, parents will also appreciate the fact that rather than having to spend 3 years overseas, having a child complete part of the qualification here And then transfer means that you have the added safety of having your child with you in the comfort of home under your guidance and safety as well. So those are maybe a few points to consider.
So it's a like a follow through from this question, I guess, because these were the main reasons, Mr. Nishan. They actually the parents had the concerns, but also when selecting another country, this is maybe the selecting from whether they were like what is the pathway from CIC through the HND, but after the HND or after O levels, selecting a country like what are the key factors a parent should consider when selecting a country, because not all parents have a fixated country. They just want the student to go abroad and maybe settle down and have a better lifestyle. So what are the main things they need to consider, Mr. Nisha?
Okay, yeah, correct. I mean, some parents simply will be of the idea that I need to get my child out of this country no matter what. Okay, so the country doesn't matter in certain cases, but in certain other cases, they might have a very specific country in mind and say, I want to send my child there. So these are some of the factors that we see. Um, Friends and family, for example, do you have friends, family, relations who are living in that specific country? Then parents feel safer in sending their child, don't they? To the UK or Australia or New Zealand or even Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai, for example, simply because your own relatives, your family are there and are able to look after your child. Because, I mean, let's admit it, you send a child out of your home into another unknown country, that child gets a lot of freedom, and sometimes freedom can be misused knowingly or unknowingly. So parents like to have their child under close supervision. So having friends and family there is important. Another thing you look at is visa success rates and immigration policies. These keep changing on a daily basis. For example, look at what's happening in the United States right now. So many countries are now blacklisted. Thankfully, Sri Lanka is not in that list. But if you still look at some of the popular countries, it's getting harder and harder to get a visa simply because some people have abused their visas and various other factors. So maybe you should look at which countries have a higher visa success rate when deciding what country you should target. Another important thing is cost of living, for example. Living in the UK, for example, can be very, very expensive. So if you have, as I said, friends and family, maybe your child can stay with them. But if you're looking at using dormitory or hostel facilities or shared apartments, they can be rather expensive. Another thing that you can look at is part-time work opportunities. Some countries don't let the students work, whereas some other countries will let the students work on a part-time basis while studying on a full-time basis. So that lets them earn a little bit of pocket money, or maybe to help them offset their expenses. So that's something that some people look at. And of course, doing a part-time job again makes the child more responsible as well. You should also look at, for example, post-study work rights, because a lot of people look at going abroad for studies as a pathway to ultimately getting permanent residency or citizenship. So some countries, for example, after you study in a university there and graduate, they give you the opportunity to stay there and work under a graduate visa. So example, in the UK, it can be between 18 months to 24 months, 1.5 to 2 years. Australia, for example, can give you that facility. And then it paves the way for you to apply for PR and citizenship. So that basically means that you look at this not only as a way of educating your child, but a way of getting them a better life. So post-study work rights is something that you should definitely consider. And then, of course, student support, the environment, the safety factors, for example. Some countries are considered safer, some countries are immigrant friendly, some can be a little nasty as well. And basically what kind of support is available. So again, it's important that you select a proper agent for this. So example, our sister company, our parent company, Campus Direct, as I said, has been in this business for a long time. And we have specific student support systems in place to make sure that we support these students even after they are placed into the university. So those are maybe a few things to consider.
So, with your help, let's say if I was a parent, I figured out the country, Mr. Nishan. But then my problem would be how to select a university in that country because there are different accreditations, different ways you will rank a university. So,
Yeah.
how to choose a foreign university? Uh, can we may help the parents out on that question?
Okay. So best thing is do your research. Okay, don't select the university blindly. You have to do a lot of research about it. One important thing is to figure out where exactly the university is physically located. So example, if you take Australia, you take New Zealand, you take Canada, for example, there are some great universities, but they are very remotely positioned. So in terms of learning, yes, it's a great place to learn. But in terms of everything else, employment opportunities and recreational facilities and everything else, it might be a very remote area. So look at the physical location of it. Look at the accreditation and look at the global recognition. For some people, rank matters. For some others, it doesn't. But look at, for example, whether you're learning and earning a degree that is going to be recognized and will give you a significant advantage. Also look at, for example, whether that university has various linkages with industry, because that will help the student to get internship. Internship can be important because after you graduate, that internship can convert into an employment opportunity. So you can look at, for example, selecting a foreign university that has some great relationships with various industries. Look at the post-study work opportunities also, as I said. Some students, for example, will look at doing the degree and then the postgraduate degree at the same university. So then you have the option sometimes of working as a research assistant at that university itself, which then gets you scholarships, it gets you bursaries and helps cover your cost. So those are opportunities that a lot of Sri Lankans have made use of. Also important to look at whether you have these established transfer agreements in place. For example, CIC, we work with a lot of universities via our parent company. And that means that we are able to confidently transfer students to specific universities. But in certain cases, you have to be careful because although someone may advertise a program saying that it's a transfer program, what you actually get as a qualification for the duration that you study at the local partner might actually be a local certificate. It might not be from that partner institution, which essentially means that you're locked in. You can't jump anywhere else, right? Whereas if you are doing, for example, the kind of qualifications that we offer here at CIC, whether it is the level 3 foundation or the higher national diploma, all of these are from Pearson, which is a reputed institution, which means that you can very easily transfer onto hundreds of universities worldwide without having to face any risks of you getting rejected in terms of the qualification that you hold. So you get a much wider choice. So it's important to look at the transfer agreements and the arrangements and what the success rates are like. Karishma?
With that, difference. So parents know that their students are good at certain things, and sometimes they're not good at certain subjects. So in that way, we have our own strengths. Our students or our children have our own strengths. So, and also at the same time, there are popular, what do you call, career possibilities or future career possibilities, which will help the student stabilize in the future. So,
Yeah.
how can a parent help the student match their strengths and also the career stability, have the career stability in the future?
Okay, so number one, what we covered in question one is important. Don't force the child to do what you like. Look at what they are passionate about and what they are good at. For example, are they good in the creative side? Are they good in the logical problem solving side? Are they good with their hands? Are they good with their mind? Okay. So depending on what they like to do, choose a degree in that specific domain, because it has to be something that the child is going to love to do. Another important thing would be to consider what exactly is the demand for the study area that you're thinking about. Because the world is changing so fast, and jobs that were there a couple of years ago no longer exist. And there are going to be jobs coming up in the future that don't exist right now. So we are educating children for a world that is changing very, very rapidly. So we have to consider, do I want to, for example, get my child educated in a degree area or a domain which has a very high demand and a certain amount of safety as well? Or do I want to educate my child and get them to earn a degree which is considered as a niche area right now, but exploding massively, which means that that person is going to have, or that child, that graduate is going to have a massive demand. Consider, for example, what we call as a data scientist. That's a job position that was not there 10 years ago, right? But today, a data scientist is someone who will earn top dollar, will earn a very, very high salary overseas. Take, for example, people who are handling cybersecurity, for example, right? Threats online are increasing day by day, and more companies require cybersecurity experts to help safeguard their systems. So that's an area that is in high demand. And then, of course, you heard all the horror stories of software engineers possibly losing their jobs because AI is making a software engineer's job redundant. So those are things that you might want to consider, right? What is AI's role going to be in the future? How are things going to change? So maybe you might want to consider going into specialist areas and not do something very general and generic, which means that your job opportunities and prospects could be lower, right? So my advice would be, come and talk to us, bring the child, right? Parents and children together, come and meet us, talk to us, and we'll help you identify what the child is passionate about and how that can gel or combine with what we have to offer and what the future demand might be. And I think we can help counsel and help you choose the best possible pathway forward.
Mr. Nishant, at the same time, before we move to the next question, because the next question is basically on the major problem name, but that's actually what most of the students go for, the PR, like which
Yeah.
study pathways and disciplines generally offer the smoother PR option in popular destination.
Okay.
Combined to that question, we also have got an audience question.
Yeah.
Uh, it is basically what pathways and countries are available to guarantee my daughter's entry into a reputable international university? And what's the cost I could save if we do it here in Sri Lanka? And which country has more job or PR available for the visa? How much do you charge? So basically, it's connected to the question we have.
Okay. So I'll answer the last part. Okay. First, how much do we charge for the placement services? And the simple answer is nothing. We don't charge you, right? Campus Direct offers the service 100% free of charge. So that I think will add to the peace of mind of the parents. So with regards to guaranteed pathways, the simple answer is, as I said earlier, the programs that we offer right now are all Pearson programs from the UK. And Pearson has a number of signed agreements with a number of universities worldwide, meaning that a student who has completed and achieved the qualification is going to be in a position of being offered placement at a number of different universities, depending on the choice of the program. However, in terms of saying whether it is guaranteed or not, there are other factors at play, such as, for example, can the visa be secured? Can you show the finances for it? what is the demand for that specific program at the university? For example, do they have slots available? So there are other factors at play. But from an academic point of view, we can guarantee and say that if your child goes through our pathway and completes the program and earns the qualification in the proper way, then yes, we can place that student into a reputed university worldwide. And we can help you choose that as well, meaning even though a certain university might have a high demand and you might not be able to get in, we can guide you to another university of equal repute and recognition. So we can give you that peace of mind as well. Karishma, did I answer everything or did I miss anything?
I think that's it, but it goes with our PR question as well. As I asked,
All
which
right. Yes, PR. Okay. So popular choices would be countries like the UK, New Zealand, and Australia. Those I would say are the popular choices in terms of students who have gone that way before, gone through the pathways, completed their degrees and their masters and so on, and satisfied the requirements and actually gotten PR and citizenship. So there are a number of destinations. I can't pinpoint one and say, but I would say the popular options have been Australia, UK, and New Zealand. But so many other options are available. So it depends on what you want to do. Normally, what you do is you'd select a country where either your friends have gone before or where you have, as I said, family living there. That would be a good support system to have, right? So in terms of the sixth question that you asked, Karishma, um, I'll take this point because I think that's important, right? When you're deciding on um, what country to go to and what kind of degree to study for, the second point that I have here in my answer is a very important one. You might want to look at, for example, what the skills shortage is like, right? Because that ensures or that gives you a higher chance of success in terms of getting placement and getting visa and also getting post-study work visas and employment permits as well. So example, if you take the United Kingdom as an example, this URL that I have shown here, if you go there, it will show what the United Kingdom government considers as highly skilled visa categories which are in demand, right? So if you are a professional who is qualified and experienced in that area, they're going to welcome you with open arms, right? So if you're looking at identifying what should I study, what should I get my degree in, study things like that, right? Look at the list, see what kind of demand is out there, and that will basically help you ensure greener pastures. And of course, again, what I would like to say there is that Campus Direct has many years of experience in that domain. We can guide you in that. We can show you what areas are in demand and therefore what kind of degrees you could consider choosing. Karishma?
yes. We do have another question. The son is in the IT field. They want an idea on the best stream to select through the IT field because they are telling that AI is there, cyber and data analytics, and they want to
Yeah.
know whether this is a good option for good jobs and if there's an employability with that, which country is it?
Okay. So AI is a good area to study. It's going to evolve into many different domains. So AI definitely good area to study and have a knowledge of. Data science, definitely. Data analytics, data science, both of these areas are in high demand. Cybersecurity is in high demand. So all the areas that you mentioned in IT are good. If you want to go into, for example, database design or database administration, there are specialist courses that you can do on those. Software engineering is still a good one to learn, although some people are now scared of that particular domain because of the kind of influence that AI has on it. But still, software engineering, programming Those kind of areas are still good. Overall, computer science, good area to learn if you're good in mathematics and like to go in that area. And so you asked, where is the employment? Where are the employment opportunities? Right here in Sri Lanka, there are plenty of opportunities if you are someone who is qualified as a data analyst, as a data scientist, as a cybersecurity expert, as an AI developer. Plenty of jobs available here, paying very high salaries. Students could look at right after university, earning at least 150 to 200,000 rupees a month locally. That same person can look at, for example, going to Dubai for a job. In that case, multiply that salary by 5 or 6 minimum. That's how much they can earn. Look at, for example, Australia, UK, the United States, Singapore, as other places where you could work, multiply that salary by a factor of 10, right? So the earning potential is definitely there. So compared to what a local government servant or a government employee would get, someone who gets qualified, for example, in IT, in these specialist areas, you actually have a very high demand waiting for you. The earning potential is massive.
Thank you, Mr. Nishan, for answering that question. Basically, can we break down the typical cost involved in studying abroad compared to financial difference between starting in Sri Lanka, which is at CIC, and transferring versus studying entirely overseas from day one, meaning from O levels or from A levels?
Okay, so let's take the example of a 3-year degree. So whatever the cost that I have here, multiply that by 3. So living cost, for example, in the United Kingdom, depending again on where you're living, London is very, very expensive. Okay, but assume that you have a yearly fee of about £10,000 for accommodation, for traveling, transport, internet, entertainment, and stuff like that. And how much you have to pay to the university? It can be between £10,000 to £20,000 a year. So £10,000 would be what, 4 million rupees roughly, going up to about 6.5 million to 8 million rupees a year. So it can be very, very expensive. Therefore, another option that parents can consider is either, as I said earlier, in the 3-year degree, get them to study 2 years here in Sri Lanka. For example, with CIC, they can do after O levels, they can do our foundation and then come into the HND. Or if it's after A levels, they can directly come into our HND. So then complete 2 years of your degree here and then transfer to whatever your international destination for 1 more year of study. That's what you call a 2+1 model. 2 years here in Sri Lanka, 1 year in UK or wherever, and that person earns a 3-year degree. Another option a lot of people are now considering is complete the entire qualification in Sri Lanka and then go for your master's overseas, which again gives you the benefit of earning the qualification locally at a fraction of the cost. And then, of course, gaining maturity and experience, and then going overseas for your master's. So how much would it cost doing the level 3 foundation here at CIC? You're looking at a cost of about 225,000 rupees for the entire 1-year program, plus another small fee to cover the Pearson fee part of it, which means that you can earn your entire foundation program for a little more than 300,000 rupees or 340,000 rupees. And that is equivalent to A levels, right? So you can complete in 1 year what would normally take 2 years. And then, for example, you can look at doing your HND with us. HND will cost you about 350,000 rupees plus the Pearson fee. So in a fee of around 450,000 to maybe maximum 500,000, someone can complete the first year and the second year of your degree right here in Sri Lanka. So you don't have to pay in millions, right? Fraction of the cost, you can complete the same qualification here and then save that money and transfer out maybe for the final year. If not, you still have the option of completing the entire qualification here as well. And of course, if you're studying with CIC, we can help you with the finances as well. We have scholarships available, and we have arrangements with banks available to get you bank loans. So we can support you through the entire process. Karishma?
Yes. The next question we've got is quite similar to the question we have gotten from most of the parents as well, which we wanted to ask you, ask Mr. Nishan after this. So it is basically, Sajid, I'll answer your question with the question we have prepared. What are the key pros and cons of starting studies in Sri Lanka, which is quite similar to the question we asked earlier, and then transferring later compared to completing the entire degree abroad? Which option
Okay.
do you usually recommend, Mr. Nishan?
Okay, whichever option you go with, you end up with the same qualification. Okay, so that's key point number one. So if you study fully abroad, okay, number one, you get a full international experience, which of course students will enjoy, but the parents will probably not, because your child is going to be out of the country for 3 years. So the parents then will have to consider the expense of 3 years of study and 3 years living cost. So fully abroad, student will get the full international experience, but parents will get the full burden of having to support them. Starting locally and then transferring, cost effective in terms of saving quite a few millions of very hard earned money, and giving the student the opportunity to earn the same qualification here and then transfer out for the final year, okay, which essentially earns the student more than one qualification, because you earn the HND here as well, and then you transfer out and you earn your final top-up degree. Disadvantage of that model, of course, from the student's point of view, rather than spending 3 years there, they get to spend only 1 year there. But I think that decision will mostly resonate with the parents, because they are the ones who have to pay and support for it. So our recommendation would be, if financing is an issue for you, start locally and then transfer out, and we can guide you through the entire process. Of course, if finances are not a problem, fine, no problem. Send that student out, send your child out for 3 years. We can help you with that as well. And we can get you scholarships also. So we at CIC and Campus Direct are able to cater for whichever option you choose for.
I hope Mr. Nishan answered your question. If there are any questions, Sajid, just drop by. Do we have medicine degrees, Mr. Nishan?
Do we have medicine degrees? Almost no institute in Sri Lanka can offer medicine degrees in the private sector because of so many issues that have cropped up. Are we able to support you in your journey of getting a doctor's education or a medical degree? Yes. Campus Direct can help place you to medical universities, and quite cost-effective ones, which are recognized by the Sri Lanka Medical Council, which is also very, very important. So depending on where you want to do it, of course, you want to go and do it in the UK, it's going to be very expensive, but yes, we can guide you for that. Or you want to do it in a European country or a near European country. For example, we can guide you, for example, to Cyprus, where you can do the same degree at a fraction of the cost, and still be able to come back and practice in Sri Lanka after going through the normal process. So short answer, yes, medical education, we can still place you.
Hello. I have a question. Is
Yeah.
there an advantage for a child who passes the GCSE exam, or are the students who follow the local syllabus considered the same when applying to the universities?
Okay, so by GCSE, what you're meaning is the London exams, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay, fine. So the reality is that in terms of applying to a foreign university, the Sri Lankan O-levels and A-levels are equally accepted compared to the British ones, whether it is Edexcel or Cambridge, or, for example, other alternatives like the International Baccalaureate, for example. So is there an advantage? I would say one advantage would be someone who does the international curriculum would be learning in English, which will make the entire process easier versus someone who studies in the local system. Majority of them would be studying in Sinhala medium or Tamil medium. Some schools do offer English medium local A levels as well. So I would say one of the main advantages of going through the international pathway would be your familiarity with learning in English. Other than that, in terms of acceptance, local exams versus the London exams, the recognition is more or less the same when it comes to applying to a foreign university.
Thank you, sir.
Right, you are welcome. Karishma?
Yes. So they're saying if the son's A-level results are not up to pass, I guess, is the foundation levels we offer recognized by international universities, Mr. Nishan?
Okay. So our level 3 foundation, as I said, is equivalent to our A levels. And someone who completes our level 3 foundation, which is a 1-year program, gets a qualification that is equal to 3 A-level passes. And for most universities, the requirement is 3 A-level passes to start their higher studies or start their degree. So even if you have not done well in your A levels, you can do our foundation and start your journey of earning the degree. So A levels don't have to be an obstacle. Okay. Pass or fail your A levels, come and meet us. We can guide you, we can help you, and we can send your child on a pathway that will earn him or her a reputed, recognized degree. The parents don't have to worry about it. We can take care of you.
We are moving on to the other question we generally get from parents, which is usually students get advice from students, not just students. At this point, parents also get advice from everywhere, and it comes to a point where it becomes a little it becomes a hassle for them to make a decision. So how can families identify a reliable academic and transfer support team when transferring abroad, and what risks should they avoid?
Okay, so what risks should you avoid? Be careful of these various agencies which might give you fake promises because they're simply looking to get some money out of you. So that is why I said Campus Direct, we don't charge you any money. Parents don't have to spend any money in using our counseling and guidance services because we want to do an honest job about this. Look at the transparent pathways and written agreements that are available. So we can tell you who we are partnered with, and we can give you past case studies to say, these are our students who have gone to so-and-so university and have qualified and are now leading successful lives. As I said earlier, some institutions that do transfer pathways, they might advertise, for example, using a certain university's name, but ultimately what you're earning from them will be a local qualification with the final year being awarded by whatever university that they're talking about, which increases your risk, okay? Because you can't transfer out to anywhere else. You're stuck with that particular awarding institution, right? So this is something you have to be careful about. Try to select a qualification that will give you more pathways and more options, which is what we have here at CIC. And so be careful about agents who might be pushing shortcuts or risky pathways. Education, you should never take shortcuts. Make sure that, because this is the future we are talking about, this is your child's future. So we have to make sure that we do right by them, because otherwise an entire lifetime is going to be wasted. So we take things very, very seriously. And that is why we offer continuous support in making sure that these students are successful. And as I said, even after transferring to the universities, these students are still in touch with us, and we help and guide and counsel them along the way. So CDUK is one of the biggest study abroad companies in Sri Lanka. We have placed thousands of students over the past years. And as a result, we can very confidently say that we can give you some of the best advice and guidance in selecting an overseas university or getting you there via the Colombo International Campus.
So basically, the parents need to know how to future-proof their their child's education. Yeah.
Exactly, because as I said, this is their future we are talking about. So we have to make sure that we don't get into any shady arrangements because it might end up with your child studying for a qualification for a couple of years and then finding out that either it's not accredited or it's not recognized, or that you have very, very limited options as to what you can do for converting that into a degree. So look into this very carefully and make sure you talk to the right people.
So to do that, how does Colombo International Campus come into play in that? So from maybe from starting the academic journey in Sri Lanka, and if they are to move abroad, from that process to the ongoing support abroad, how does CIC play a part in that, Mr. Nishan?
Okay, so CIC, as I said, is a fully owned subsidiary of Campus Direct, and therefore run by a professional team who have a full knowledge about the entire process of how study abroad systems work. And we can give you a personalized pathway planning via our counselors and guidance team. We can give you a personalized plan that will show you how you go from where you are right now after O-levels or after A-levels to where you want to be. We can personalize and give you a solution. We also prepare you, as I said, academically and in other ways as well, because the student life here is very nicely balanced. It's not just about academic work, it's about various extracurricular work as well. And as I said, our programs are internationally recognized Pearson qualifications. So students and parents don't have anything to worry about because you're getting certification from the UK itself, from one of the largest awarding bodies in the world. And we provide end-to-end support, as we said, since we are a company that has a rich heritage in study abroad services. We can offer you end-to-end support from the applications to getting you the best possible scholarships, to arranging the transfers, and to helping you with the embassy or the High Commission process to secure your visa. We guide you and help you through the entire process. And so CIC, as we said, is a partner for your full journey. It's not just one qualification that we're talking about. We can facilitate everything from the day you leave school to you graduating. We can handle everything. So why study at CIC? We are here in the heart of Colombo. That's our modern campus building right there. So we have some great facilities, including some modern classrooms, state-of-the-art stuff, nice clean environment, which makes it conducive to learning. So our facilities, you could say, are second to none, and possibly even you could say better than some international level facilities as well. We have some great computer labs for the students to make use of. We have some of the best recreational facilities available. We have an indoor basketball machine. You want to play pool, you want to play football. We have everything you need. We have more goodies on the way. So you have food and drink available. You have a fully fledged gym available for the students to make use of. So we are a home away from home. And once you put your student here, once you put your child here, when you hand over your child to us, you might find it that he or she might be spending less time at home, more time here at CIC, because we have so much to offer, both in terms of education and facilities as well. So what I'd like to say, finishing up, is do contact us. Our website is CICEdu. We are at 24.1 Dudley Sienna Mouth, Colombo 8, very close to the House of Fashions. Parents will know if I say that this building used to be the Lamborghini showroom. So it's a notable landmark. And you can call us on 07078555555. 07078555555. Karishma, over to you.
Yes, as Mr. Nishan said, we do have an amazing facility here. Just to wrap up, but let me give you a small glimpse of the programs we have here as well. So as Mr. Nishan said, we have starting from foundation for after O-level students in business and IT, and future probably, let me hint you all that more options might come. But in HND programs also we have for after A-level, or even if you're a professional who wants to have an understanding or to have a added paper qualification, we have IT, software engineering, AI, which is a glamorized topic these days. Business, entrepreneurship is also coming up topic these days. So the best part of it is it's a 2-year degree with the ability for you to continue it in Sri Lanka, or the ability for you to transfer abroad with CD UK, our mother company. Also, we do have another course which is AI for Life, because it is a hot topic. AI for Life, this 4-month specialized course is designed to help everyone, not just anyone who is in the AI field, but anyone, maybe a student, maybe a seasoned CEO. It helps you grasp the world of AI, the artificial intelligence, in 4 months. So you can have a hint of what this new industry, which is coming up or glamorized or already is here, is all about. So I don't have anything more to say about the facilities because he basically covered everything up. So we do actually invite you to visit us in Borella to experience the campus yourself, dear parents, because bring your children, or if you just want to join without them, just join us for a cup of coffee with our counselors. See the environment. As you can see, the hotline is there. And yes, our AI for Life course is offered online, Mr. Richard. So feel free to call us anytime. So let me wrap this webinar up, our session up, with a little bit of an understanding of what we had went through today. So choosing an education path for your child, specifically in Sri Lanka or as a parent, is not easy. It's the biggest investment. It's the riskiest investment, because you have to make sure your child has chosen the right path, not by forcing them, but by making sure that they understand the path they chose is the path which is future-proof for them without any mishaps. So at Colombo International Campus, our goal is to ensure that the investment you pay off in your child's success will help them have a good future. So don't leave these decisions to chance. Reach out to us, visit our campus again, and let's plan this journey together. So wishing you and your children the best. To make the best decisions, because now we are informed. I'm pretty sure, Mr. Nishan, it's more than an hour, and Mr. Nishan, I hopefully gave you a better understanding and elaborative understanding on how to choose the right path and where you need to go. So CIC is your place. Come join us and stay tuned for our webinars. We do have workshops coming up, so visit us and stay tuned with us. You'll like what we have to offer for you. Have a nice evening.